Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, I spent $20,000 on Only Scams, My Addiction. Let's get right into it.
This is not my normal video. I don't normally just sit down and talk to the camera, just talk to you guys. Because, you know, I don't want you to see who I am. Because that shit's dark. And I know, it's social media. I'm supposed to act cool. I'm supposed to show you the sports car I'm sitting in right now. I'm supposed to take my shirt off, show you my physique. I could use to pull any girl I want, right? Because that's what you want to see. And what you don't want to hear is that I'm 25. I have a crippling porn addiction. I've spent probably $20,000 on pornography. I have no sex lives because I have erectile dysfunction whenever I try to get with a girl. And I'm just sexually confused as fuck. And I'm just really fucked up. And I think one of the reasons why I was so drawn to pornography in the first place is because I was raised in a super religious household where, like, sex before marriage, things like that, are just these despicable, awful sins, right? And so naturally, in order to satisfy my sexual urges, I was turning towards porn and masturbation instead. And I'm not a neuroscientist or anything like that. But you just think about starting any behavior at such an impressionable age and then continuing that behavior for 10 years. And you just think about like what kind of damage that could do. You know, my life is ruined, man. I'll never get that picture perfect family, white picket fence. Because I can't fucking love. I can't feel fucking anything, man.
So this is what you consider, and you might look at this as a mental issue. You might look at this as an addiction issue. I look at this as a spiritual issue, okay? Because to me, one, he should be very grateful. He's sitting in some very nice Recaro seats. The guy has almost 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know anything about him. I came across his video and I'm just reacting to the stuff he's talking about. But apparently he's successful, and he's only 25, so he's uber successful. But I tell this to people all the time. You don't want to trade places with people you think are living the life. Because everybody's life has their challenges. Everybody. Right? So, you know, they might have money, but you might have peace. They might have success and fame, right? But you might have community. So, you know, I see a lot of young men, they're jealous of people, but look, this man, he's struggling, right? And, you know, look, first of all, you know, this guy is just way too pessimistic, fatalistic. You know, it seems like he's losing a sense of meaning for life. Like, why should I live? And to me, that's more important than how to live, right? Because if you have a strong why, people don't understand this. If you have a strong why, it gives you'll figure out the how, right? A strong why will figure out a how, right? But a how can't give you a why. And like I said, it's spiritual. So to me, I just think, this is fixable. This is not, he thinks it's over. He thinks it's ruined. I think it's far from that. You're 25 years old. You better go through it right now if you're going to go through it. And you're always going to go through challenges. This is just life. I think I have my own challenges. It's not like this. And I can look at this and say, gee, I'm glad I didn't make it when I was very young. For me to become successful in my late 30s, I mean, I've already experienced life. And I've been able to become a regular person, but someone like him, who probably I don't know his success. Maybe you guys know if you're familiar with him. His name is Dylan McKnight. If you're familiar with him, let me know in the comments. But I don't know anything about this guy. But the one thing I do know about YouTube is you can make that money. So he's getting paid a lot, and he's going to make some changes in his life. I think he could definitely benefit from a good life coach, maybe a Christian life coach. But I think he's going to be all right. And hopefully he doesn't do anything crazy.
God, sometimes I just wish I was allowed to be a kid, man. Like, what the fuck was I supposed to do? I was a normal, healthy kid with normal sex drive, and I was taught to suppress it, man. And you want to know what the most twisted part about all this shit is? Is I'm not even sexually attracted to girls in real life. You want to know how I know that, man? You want to know how I know that, man? Because I get erectile dysfunction whenever I try to get with a girl. I'm like damaged, man. I'm like disaffected, and it fucking sucks because I don't want to be alone. It sucks not being able to feel or give love. I've tried relationships and they just fucking fail. Because I'm a monster. I can't feel anything. Sometimes I feel like I'm a sociopath. Something fucked like that. And eventually you accept what you are. So you do what you can to feel something. Because all you ever feel is nothing. So in an effort just to feel some kind of like intimacy, feel something, I started paying girls in real life to do things. And what really jacked me up is one of the girls, she started catching feelings. And it's like, damn, like how do you tell this girl, like, sorry, I can't feel anything, I'm a fucking monster. The last girl that I dated, she made me feel like I was normal. And I think that's why I tried to hold on to her so hard. And I know you're watching this video, and I'm not strong enough to call or text you, but I just want you to know that I'm sorry. Because I know I hurt you. You have no idea how beautiful I think you are, and you mean so much to me. And I guess I just want to say, like, if you're in the same boat as me and you are addicted to this stuff, I just want you to know that you're a good person, man. And I know you're trying, and no matter what you tell yourself, on a day-to-day basis, you being here matters, and it matters a lot. I haven't...
I agree with him, but you know what? I think he's too weak of a person and at this point in time, and I hope he gets the treatment he needs necessary, the spiritual guidance he needs. Because that's all it is. This is a man, and this is what I'm trying to say. You can look at a man; he could be big, muscular on the outside, but if his internals are weak, like he doesn't have a strong core, right, strong sense of self, he's gonna be like this, a house of cards. You can just blow this dude over. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? This dude will just blow over. But I also think he's a son of feminism, right? I think he's a son of feminism. God knows the kind of relationship he had in his house with his mom and his dad. His mom probably was overbearing of his dad. really probably guilt tripped them. They probably shame masculinity in the house. You know, the typical Western nuclear family style stuff going on. You know, so you know, to me, this is a dude who he never really been through nothing. This is the biggest thing he's probably going through right now in his life. He seemed like he probably had a peachy perfect life, somewhat, maybe not too crazy. Found porn at 15, that seems pretty normal. And got addicted, and I think that's pretty normal too, because we all have a tremendously high sex drives, and you know, it's one of our strongest motivating things in our life. And I think the biggest issue, like looking back at this video, probably the biggest thing that hurts him so much is the ED. I think the ED, he blames it on his corn addiction. He probably feels like he's queer, and because he's not turned on around girls, and it makes him even more addicted to corn, and like the cycle repeats, right? But here's what I think it is. Seeing how jacked he is, I'm assuming maybe he's on steroids, maybe he's roided out his mind. A lot of kids are on SARMs, a lot of young kids are not natty, you know, because again, you can improve your physique a lot if you're on steroids, but it does come at a health cost. That's one. Two, his diet probably shitty. He's an American man. You know, a lot of American men have horrible diets. So even at 25, there's still 25% of men who can't get ED because of the horrible diets. I tell this to men all the time. Try to eat low fat and plant-based. I know a lot of people are not going to, and that's fine. The truth is the truth, whether you like what I'm saying or not. But it's hard to argue that whole foods and plants that grow from the ground are unhealthy. It's very hard. I mean, I'm going to let you take a stab at that. If you can figure that out, that's fine. If you want more information about stuff like that, though, I strongly recommend a documentary, Game Changers. Watch the documentary, Game Changers. I read books. You probably don't want to read books. And I'm saying this so people don't end up like this. Right? They don't end up like this. Also, I recommend the penis book. If you by the way, click on my Amazon affiliate link. I have books that I recommend that are about this. Like erectile dysfunction. Can you only imagine for men that have, and a lot of men have it, but for a young man, if you know, a lot of people get ED when they're older. To have it at such a young age, I mean, like for your Johnson not to work, for your flag not to be able to stand, that's a big deal. So if I'm telling you of a natural method that you don't have to pay a doctor for, you know, and you don't even got to pay me for, you can go out there and find it yourself, I take a strong, you know, I listen to that. Okay? On Game Changers, part of what they did was measure erections naturally overnight based on diet, a burrito. If anyone hasn't seen it before, I've strongly suggested. Anyway, the results came. The guy who ate, they had 3 different athletes. One ate a plant-based burrito. 2 people ate non-plant-based burrito. And their erections were measured overnight for how many erections they got and how strong of an erection they got. Anyway, I believe they got 300% more erections, and it was like a 60% harder erection pause compared to the guys that ate meat after one plant-based meal. And this has to do with the fact that if there's a lot of fat in your diet, your fat's going to actually make your blood thick like a milkshake, and it'll be sludge, it'll be hard to travel, and lack of blood flow is a big issue when it comes to erections, right? And it causes erectile dysfunction. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I just think that, you know, without ED, he might be a lot happier. I think that he's blaming the ED on something that has probably nothing to do with it. It's probably, you know, he probably super sensitive to, if he watches a lot of corn, he's probably desensitized his mind to these things. And so he needs a lot more to get off. But to me personally, you could just quit. Just quit, and then your body will recalibrate itself over time. These are not hard to fix. But once you're stuck in the mud like this, you can become really, really desperate and frustrated. And I just hope he gets the help that he needs so he doesn't do anything crazy. He seems like a smart guy. He seems like he had a lot of success in his life. He just needs to fix a minor thing. You know, and if you see this and you want my help for whatever reason, if you feel like what I'm saying makes some sense, I'd be glad to help you. Just reach out, my brother, right? And you guys can reach out too. Hit me up on Instagram, all right? Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.